How's everybody doing? It's Doc LaFear, and what seems that no one is discussing these days is NBA Live 13, and it comes out around the same time as NBA 2K13, but I really just wanted to talk about the game as a whole right now and my history with the series. So without further ado, let me give you my credentials, I guess. I've been playing NBA Live since, I think it was 2003 was the first game, and then throughout the series, I bought 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, and I think so on and so forth until 11. And of course, it wasn't actually called NBA Live 11. It was called NBA Elite 11. So with that said, that's where I decided to call it quits. It was getting too out of hand. NBA 2K was coming up the ranks for me. Now, I did play some 2K games, from friends and stuff, but for the most part, I stuck with NBA Live because it was what I knew, it's what I grew up with, so that's that. But I've recently, just watched gameplay of both games, and I'm curious, I'm curious to see both games, and as I've said before, 2K is absolutely out marketing NBA Live or EA Sports in this aspect. I mean, it's almost overwhelming to the point where some of my friends didn't even know NBA Live 13 even existed. So, with that said, how do you come back? And first off, you have to focus on the main gameplay mechanics of the game and make sure that everything's in order and you make a good basketball game. But I know for a fact that both games are inside of alpha stages right now and such, but if you do want to see gameplay of either, well, I'm not going to say either game, but because I'm not sure if it's entirely legal to link the actual gameplay, but it is on Kotaku if you want to look it up. Well, you can Google it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave a link in the description because EA has been taking down videos left and right that try to post up the gameplay itself. So I was going to put up screenshots of the game or maybe the opening thing in the game, but it would have been way too risky, and I didn't want to risk it. So this is what you get instead. You get a link to it, but if you can't find it, with your normal searching, just type in NBA Live 13 gameplay, and it should be the very first thing that comes up on Google. And if you want to watch that real quick and then come back to here, that'd be fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it anyways. Basically, he plays as the Heat versus the Thunder, and, it was alright, but there were just some mechanics of the game that was just kind of silly. LeBron trying to post up from the three-point line. I'm sure that you've heard about that from others, but the overall game looks all right. Of course it's better than NBA Live 10. That's honestly what it looks like to me. It looks like a sort of updated version of NBA Live 10 at this point. Now, they did say, and I will throw this in here before we start bashing on them too much, or bashing on them at all. I'm not really bashing on them, but I'm just saying, before we start throwing eggs at them, this is pre-build. It's not the final release, and I'm sure that they're gonna make changes a month from a month standpoint. So this, I don't know what exactly will be changed, but let's hope a lot in their case. But the graphics don't look too bad on the faces and the body itself, and the basketball hoop. It looks all right for the time. It's not out of hand graphics, but it looks okay. But the pet peeve that I get from seeing this is the jerseys. There's no free flow, if you know what I'm talking about. The jerseys aren't flowing at all. It's almost as if they're, I'm sure that everyone's heard of Under Armour or any type of tank top that sucks to your skin. That's what these jerseys are like, and I know for a fact they're not like that in real life. So I really hope that'll get changed before the release of this game. Just throwing that out there. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. But from the actual gameplay itself, I thought it was okay. it wasn't to the point to where it was so bad. It's just not worth buying. But myself, I honestly don't know if I'm going to buy this right away. I'll probably wait to see how the game really is, wait to see some gameplay of it. But let me just tell you this: like, how much of NBA Live have you seen? Like, honestly, like compared to 2K and compared to what 2K is just coming out with for 2K13, like my career, my team. The whole shebang. The list goes on and on, what 2K has. And yet Live, well, from the screenshots, we can tell that they're going to have Exhibition and Dynasty mode, which is my favorite mode in the NBA Live series. And those are the only two real modes that we know it's going to be in the game, besides, the obvious season and playoffs and whatnot. And there is going to be the All-Star game, for anyone who's wondering, for NBA Live 13. It's inside the scrolling feature once you see the exhibition, so it's probably there. But I like the sort of presentation feeling of NBA Live and EA Sports games. It just, I don't know, the feeling is just crazy. I think this is hard to explain, but when you're scrolling through and you're picking your team for exhibition, you're going up against someone. I think that looks extremely well done, and you can see that on the video as he scrolls through it. But you know what? It's just sort of weird to see, like, EA sort of fail multiple times at making a basketball game when they have soccer and, well, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're from, and actual football, American football, or Madden. So it's crazy to see them dominate those markets like they have, and then they just don't dominate when it comes to basketball. And they have for the, I would have to say NBA Live was on top from like 99 to about 05, 06. Then, the tables just started to turn and 2K started coming up the ranks, and this is what we get so far. So basically, as you all know, everyone has been talking about 2K, and I cannot stress this enough. How in the world is NBA Live going to survive when, how many people actually know it exists? And everyone knows by now. Like, you've seen, like, tweets, like, I know what's going on right now. 2K, the actual sports page for every, I think, I forget how many followers it gets, but it tweets out 3 new ratings. I don't even know anyone involved with NBA Live anymore. Like, that's just the thing. Like, I don't even feel like they have a Twitter. I don't even feel like they're relevant. I don't even feel as if they can even compete with 2K, because 2K is just outselling them like that. It's not looking good at this point for them, but I'm willing to give it a chance if it looks good. But ultimately, I think I'm going to purchase 2K13. Well, I know I'm going to do that. Like, it's probably going to be the best NBA video game ever made to date. So, and of course, I've been an NBA Live fanatic, so it's not like I'm knocking them for anything. I've been a fan of the series. I even stuck with it in NBA Live 10. And that's when 2K really started to make a push with my player and the draft combine and whatnot. So if you just think about that in itself, I played NBA Live because I really liked the online game mode, and it just seemed to mesh well. So I liked it to an extent. People still thought it was goofy, but if you recall an old song, and you probably can't find this on YouTube anywhere, but I believe that Chris Smoove made something along the lines of NBA, I think it was NBA 2K10, just saying it's amazing, and after the song, it's amazing. And he just featured all kinds of the problems with the game, and he said that 2K looks realistic, but it doesn't play like that. And he went on to say NBA Live doesn't look realistic, but it plays like that. And I believe that NBA Live at that point had maybe a little bit better strong gameplay than NBA 2K10, but the fact is 2K10 just had it graphically beat, and on top of that, the game modes were so good that people didn't even pay attention to live. But that was the last good year of live, and I don't think we're ever going to see it again. I think NBA Live 13 will make a strong push, but ultimately it'll fall short, and I don't think there will be any more EA Sports basketball games coming out. Although, if they want to hit the good market, they could come out with a college basketball game, and I'll be all over that because there's none. I don't know. That's a completely different topic, but I still want to talk about it. I've been wanting to play college basketball games forever. I mean, the last one was 10, I believe, and I sold it thinking there's going to be another one. You know, routinely every single year I sell it. I'm like, okay, there'll be another one. And then there's not another one. And then I'm stuck with no more copies of the game being made. It's not on the shelves anywhere. And all you can do is get it from eBay or something. But even if I do play it, it's not like people want to see a 3 to 4 year old basketball game. So, I mean, there you go. Need to come out with a college basketball game if this fails. That's my advice to EA Sports and NBA Live. But if you have anything else to add, feel free to do so. I'm jumbled up right now. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, so I might as well end it here. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and as always, have a nice day.